Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to shoot a quick little update video on the $150 Decathlon Rockrider ST520. This is my first real ride I'm taking it out for this morning, and it is doing quite well. So I'm out here on some local trails. These are, for the most part, probably green, maybe bordering on blue in some places. This right here is about an 18-inch or 24-inch drop off, so that's a little spicier line that I probably wouldn't try on this bike, but there's alternate line down there. Again, just been riding around, seeing how this bike does, and I have to say, very, very impressed with what this is doing, especially for $150. But this is something that most folks might be looking at, an entry-level type of a bike in the $500 to $700 range, in which this bike definitely fits well into that. And for that, you're not getting super high-end components. If you watch my last video, I kind of went over the component spec on this bike, but the thing that you're going to notice the most when you're out riding on the trail are going to be how your tires are getting traction and how your suspension is working. And so those are two things that I wanted to kind of comment on mostly in this video, because everything else is kind of a function of either your skill as a rider, which entry-level riders probably are going to need something that's going to be a bit more forgiving, and that's where probably the most I don't want to say disappointing thing. This bike is really intended more for smoother, like graded gravel trails. You can get into some of these, like I said, green type trails. But these tires, these are the original 27.5 by 2.0. It's a mixed use tread, so real tightly spaced knobs there. They're designed to roll pretty quick. And you do have some knobs out on the outside, but 2.0 these days is a pretty narrow width tire compared to what most even like cross-country mountain bikes come with. A lot of those are coming with a 2.2, 2.25, or 2.3, whether you're looking at 27.5 or 29-inch tires. And especially with a 27.5, the 2-inch width just doesn't have a ton of like volume and ability to roll over obstacles, especially like a 29-inch, but definitely compared to like a 27.5 by 2.3, 2.4, up to a 2.6. Those are kind of your trail bike size tires. So that would be my first upgrade if I was going to be seriously using this bike for a little bit more trail work. But based on, just give you a view there in the frame on the rear, and then down there, if that's focusing or visible enough, you got a lot of room to go bigger on these tires. I mean, I wouldn't try to go like a 2.6, especially on the rear. And then here's your fork clearance, so plenty of room up there as well. But you could easily go 2.3, 2.4. I'm going to try to find like a 2.25, maybe a 2.3, just see if I can find somebody getting rid of some takeoff tires. Nothing too expensive. I'll probably stick with tubed tires and not try to convert this thing to tubeless, which it's not really intended to do with these rims. But different tires definitely would help. And I think these tires are also pretty heavy, so they're going to not roll as quickly and spin up as easily as a lighter weight tire. And then the other thing I want to just comment on real quick is this suspension fork. So only 80 millimeters of travel, not a ton of travel, not super adjustable. You do have the preload adjuster there, which I've got set up for my weight, and I gotta say, it's working really well. A lot of these cheaper forks like this that are just a mechanical spring, usually with some type of elastomer, which is kind of a plasticky rubber bumper to help cut down on some of the knocking and clunking sounds, is all you get. You don't get like an oil bath damper or anything like that. It's just spring, and that's what this one is. But working pretty well. I don't get a lot of the clunking noises that I've found in a lot of the like SR Suntour XCM 30s and those types of forks. Those tend to make a lot of noise going over bumps. This one's pretty quiet, so pretty impressed with it, and it seems to track well. You don't have super wide stanchions, but this fork crown right here is very beefy, offers probably a bit more stiffness than a standard type of a fork. Not sure if this reverse arch is actually helping it much or anything, but it's doing well. And the other thing I've noticed, I don't have like a ton of grease coming out. Usually these cheaper forks, especially when they're brand new, they'll just ooze all sorts of grease. I don't know if that means that there's just not a lot of like grease inside for lubricating the fork, or it's just better sealed than some of the other forks, but seems to be working fine. So not sure how long that's gonna work fine for, how it's gonna hold up, but so far so good. So again, initial impressions, pretty impressed with this bike. I've made minimal changes to it. As I mentioned in my previous video, put a different set of pedals. These are $20 pedals from Amazon. I bought them because they were yellow to match the graphics on the bike. And then my ESI grips. I think pedals and grips are very important to get something that's comfortable and allows you to better control the bike. Saddle, original saddle so far, it's okay. I wear padded bike shorts. That probably helps some too. Definitely recommend that if you're getting into cycling, get a good set of cycling shorts. And yeah, brakes, that's the other thing I want to talk about, these Hayes mechanical brakes. 160 millimeter rotors, not a ton of power, but good feel, nice and smooth linear actuation. They work well, very happy with them. I probably wouldn't upgrade them. Maybe upgrade to 180 millimeter rotor in the front if you want a little bit more bite on the front brake, but honestly, for the type of riding that most people are going to do, keeping the speeds in check, not going to be a problem at all. Good brakes. I'm very, very impressed so far. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, get back out on the trail, keep riding. Beautiful morning out here today, about 70 degrees and nice low humidity, so I don't want to waste that since we just came off of one of the hottest summers I've ever experienced in my entire life. I mean, we're talking 110 degree days, 108 degree, 110 just days on end, which is very not normal here for Central Texas. So just so grateful that we're seeing some nice, cool, dry weather and able to get out and enjoy nature. So hope you get out and enjoy some nature yourself and keep that rubber side down. Have a good one.